Welcome back to Regen Rovers, it's episode 176, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you three matches, three different competitions. First of all, Wolves in the Premier League. Secondly, the second leg of our Champions League first knockout round against Benfica. And thirdly, the FA Cup quarter-final against Leicester City. Could have thrown the Hampshire Senior Cup semi-final in there, but nah, I'll show you the final, but not the semi-final, that doesn't matter. The quadruple is on, and if you include the Hampshire Senior Cup, then of course it's the quintuple, is that how you say it? I'm not entirely sure, but it is going so well, and of course if we do win the quadruple this year, that will be the end of the series, I'm afraid. It might be the end of the series anyway. We'll see. I mean, it's been an incredibly successful season. Hopefully we can go on and win the league. The Champions League, it's a big ask, of course, but it would be brilliant to prevent Spurs from winning a fifth league title in a row. We're currently 2 points ahead of them. I thought when we lost against them a few weeks ago that would be the end, but they did manage. Well, they lost a game. Who did they lose against? Well, they've lost against Newcastle, West Ham and Leeds. Three teams you wouldn't really expect them to lose against because they've just been so dominant in recent years. But we've capitalised on it. We're back into first position. We've got to keep winning. We've got to beat Wolves today in 7th place to keep momentum, to make sure we stay above Tottenham. They do have the superior goal difference, but we have gained on them. We're only 4 behind them in that regard. Since you last left me then, there's only been a few games. We beat Man United 3-0, really good win. 2 goals from Van der Broek and a goal from Martinez. Central midfield dominance from them. 2-0 win against Watford thanks to 2 goals from Anthony early on in the game. And then a 2-1 win at home against Crystal Palace. My second string team played in that one. Novak and Aloisi. I've pretty much put out as strong a team as I can, apart from Fran is in for Matt Smith. He gets very tired, as you know. Thinking about the Champions League game, of course, in midweek. And unfortunately, Kotasek is still injured. We've got a bit of an injury crisis. Well, not an injury crisis in midfield. They're just really tired. So Kotasek is injured. Van den Broek is dead. And who's the other one? Aloisi is pretty dead as well. So you're going to see Serenity. He's one of our own. Came through the academy, of course, and is going to be playing in the Premier League for only how many times? 6 times that season, twice a couple years ago. He didn't feature in the Premier League last year, so this is his first appearance since 2 seasons ago. I was actually just looking at our progress over the last, since the beginning, and I did put a screenshot up on Regen Rovers Twitter of this. Look at the growth. It really is incredible how far we have come, all the way up to the Premier League, and eventually, hopefully, this year we're going to win the Premier League for the first time. That would be marvellous. Just to remind you, people keep asking me, I will upload the last save file at the end of the series. I keep talking about the end of the series. Let's enjoy the moment. Let's enjoy the journey. We've not got there yet. We might completely flop for the last few games, and then we'll do another season. Anyway, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Let's get on with it. Mark Ballpark awaits. It's a big game, this, because Wolves are a tough team. They've got Zeus, who has been heavily featured in this series. We've seen him a number of times. We've faced him a number of times when he used to play for Leeds and then Wolves, because he was on loan at Leeds, wasn't he, when we faced him in the Championship. But he's been a top player. He's got 35 goals in 44 games for Spain. He's really good. However, I wouldn't say he's that much better than Navarrete, who's only been capped 7 times by Spain. We love Navarrete. They've got Van den Berg, a Dutchman, just playing behind. They've got a Belgian international on the right-hand side. Their captain is Treadwell, an English international. They're full of quality, this team. Fanage is an ex-English international. Left-hand side, Vieira, Portuguese player. They've got some quality. But so do we. We're top of the table. We've had a final season. We need to be winning this. By the way, if you haven't worked this out before, FM19, FM20, doesn't matter what game. If you go for the media option, it always inspires them. Say do it for the fans. Nothing. Absolutely no response. Maybe one player will just sort of raise his head a bit. But yeah, do the media thing. They are motivated. It's a modern day football thing, I think, isn't it? Anyway, let's go and get my assistant to do that. and get him to do that. And off we go. I'm actually going to go attacking from the start and say, get creative. We need to take the game to Wolves. We're at home. Come on, lads. And it's a free kick early on, which Simon Moore takes, puts it into the box. It's a poor free kick. It's back to Anthony, though. And he's played it back to Isidora Rodriguez with a delightful ball to Boris. Out wide to Fran, who's in the wrong position. But it's a good cross. And Anthony gets his 26th goal of the season. And we're already 1-0 up. That worked a treat. I'm going to leave it on attacking. Want to go 2-0 up and then probably turn it back to balance, which we've mainly been using this season. That was a delightful ball from our centre-back. Boris out wide to Fran, who'd moved over to the right-hand side because of the free kick. And then Anthony with a nice finish. He's on fire this season, his old Anthony. Corner to Wolves, though. Burak Tarim to the back post. Rodriguez heads away as far as Anthony, and now we can break. We're dangerous on the counter. Navarrete swivels. And here he goes, our number 10, our captain, into Simon Moore. Crosses it in and it's cleared. But it's as far as Laurent. Into Boris. And that's poor. But Andreychenko can win it back. And maybe there is still an opportunity here. Laurent into Martinez. To Serenity. His first appearance for a long time. Tries to find Navarrete. But both players weren't quite on the same wavelength. And Rodriguez with another adventurous ball. It's found its way to Boris. This phase of play is long. Serenity. Navarrete turns. And he's just put it wide. Lovely football from us, though, in the end. And it's good to see Serenity getting involved. That's what I want to see from him. Leaving it on attacking. Being brave. 29 minutes into this game. Here's Simon Moore. Oh, he's going alone, but he probably should have passed. And in the end, it was a very weak shot. And Boris, he's been a little bit injury prone, to be honest. Has picked up a little injury. We're going to... Rodriguez, who's been on fire lately. Of course, he scored a hat-trick. And he scored... in the game after that, he scored 3 free kicks in 2 games. Unbelievable. So he's going to play a bit out of position. He can play right wing. He'd rather play right back, of course. Here's Finash. Brilliant tackle by Serenity. Anthony to Navarrete. Navarrete has the shot. It's just wide, but that was excellent defending. Well, not really defending, just advanced defending. Pressing. Great tackle from Serenity. Oh, and Anthony, what's going on here? Wolves are destroying my players. I'm going to bring on Safet Kalechi for the goal scorer. I will go balanced, I think, in the second half. There's some nervous players out there, but we're 1-0 up. Now we just need to hold on. We'll go to balanced, and would Laurent rather play there? No, I think Henriquez is better on the right wing than Laurent, isn't he? Let's go. Let's go. Second half. Couple injuries. That is 2 really big blows for the Benfica match, because Boris is our only technically world-class player. He's described as an elite winger. And Anthony, of course, is our top goal scorer. So if they're out for the Benfica game, that is a huge blow. We're 2-1 up on aggregate. We've got that away goal, but that doesn't mean we're through, that's for sure. It's still a long way to go. Here's Isidora Rodriguez into Martinez, to Navarrete, to Safet Kalechi. It's blocked. Back as far as Martinez. Into Navarrete again. Oh, here we go. Surely it's a fantastic save by the keeper. I imagine Kotsek probably won't be back in time for the Benfica match either. So basically, probably our 3 best players could be out injured for that Benfica game. Here's Simon Moore. Crosses it in. Ray Henriquez scores again. Unbelievable from him this season. Of course, I signed Laurent, the Belgian right back, to replace Henriquez, who was our first choice for quite a few years. But he's refusing to lie down and be forgotten about. He's actually got the highest rating of any player this season, I think, because, of course, he's played less games. And when he has played, he's scored, he's played well, he's played in some of the lesser games as well, so obviously more likely to get a higher rating. But he has just been fantastic. He can only beat who's got out in front of him, I suppose. It's Safet Kalechi. Into Navarrete. Navarrete! Oh, one opportunity, another clear-cut chance. Saved by the keeper. We're dominating this game, though. This is encouraging. We can't throw this away, surely. Martinez into Fran, and this will fizzle away. Got one more sub left to make. We might leave it towards the end of the game and waste a bit more time. Here's Fran, putting a good ball in, headed away as far as Safet Kalechi. And he's blocked, but Serenity picks up the pieces. Ray Henriquez to Laurent. And what is he doing? What was that? Bizarre attempt at a back heel flick, trying to nutmeg the player, the Wolves player maybe. There's a load of back heels going on here. What's going on? Here's Praniki for Wolves, knocking it up the pitch. Fran intercepts, but unfortunately it's only as far as Kamara, who finds Burak Tarim, and now Wolves looking to dominate possession and create an opportunity. Here's Kamara, it's through. Zeus is through. Zeus makes it 2-1. That is sloppy from us. Really sloppy. I'm going to regret saying we can't chuck this away, surely. Oh, 72 minutes on the clock. Isidoro Rodriguez. He won the ball, didn't he? What the hell? That is ridiculous decision. What? Oh my freaking... That was no way was that a red card, surely. We've got to see that again once I've made this. Oh my. Spoke too soon, didn't I? Well, off comes Navarrete, in comes Rios. And, well, we're going to have to time waste a bit, I think. That is just such a ridiculous decision. I don't understand. Watch this. If it lets me. Maybe it's not going to let me. I wanna watch it. Or maybe we'll watch it at the end. We'll wait till the end of this highlight. Maybe I could click on that red card. Here's Safet Kelechi. Can he go alone? Has the shot. Decent effort. If we just watch the red card, though. How is that a red card? Firstly, he won the ball and he just stood his ground. That is the worst red card I've ever seen. What the hell? I don't understand. How is that a red card? Oh, the game doesn't want me to win the league, I think. They're going to score now. We're down to 10 men. It's 2-1. Here we go. Oh my. Football Manager. Why are you hating me today? We were 2-0 up. Then I say, we can't chuck this away, surely. Then they score. Then we get a red card, which wasn't a red card. And then they score a long-range banger. That is just disgraceful. It's an utter disgrace. I'm not even going to go attacking because I'm just deflated after that. We have to hope Spurs slip up. I mean, it's still in our hands if we can win every game by more than Spurs do, even if they win their game. But that is just so irritating. We've bottled it, but I can't say it's my fault, surely. I'm going to say unlucky. Kelechi switched off. He didn't play particularly well when he came off the bench. Oh, that is horrible. That is so horrible. Boris out for 5 to 6 days. Anthony out for 3 to 4 bloody weeks. Not good. And we don't have the biggest squad in the world anyway. And Rodriguez is out for... He's been suspended, obviously. I want to appeal because it's stupid, but it's probably something like it's just the 3D match representation of it didn't make it look particularly bad, but apparently it is a bad tackle. But all I can go on is what it's showing me. It looks like he's just won the ball, he's stood his ground, hasn't done anything, he's just stood there. We've got lucky. Spurs have drawn against Man City, and it was a 93rd equaliser from this chap. He's going to be receiving a bottle of wine and a bunch of flowers from me in the post. What a legend. So yeah, that is fortunate. Obviously a draw against Wolves, but it doesn't matter too much because Spurs have drawn. Luckily they were against a tough team in Man City, I suppose. Relief all round, but still I'm so angry. I'm so annoyed. By the way, my youth academy this year is not great. It's been pretty poor every year. Obviously the standard increases every year because our star ratings are relative, but we don't seem to be producing anyone that can be good enough for the first team ever. These are the best options. Pretty awful, really. Look at that. That is terrible. Oh, the best one is this chap, Michael Tucker. 2-star potential, possibly 3. It's not going to happen. There's been a few changes for this match against Benfica. Then Safet Kelechi has come in for the injured Anthony. Novak has come in for the injured Boris. Van den Broek is back, which is good news. But even better news, Kotasek is back from injury. That is so important. What a player he is. And Matt Smith has come in at left back as well, back in the starting lineup. So let's go. Let's go for it. Wish me luck. This is a big one. Last year we reached the quarter-final of the Champions League. We're aiming to do that for a second year in a row then. Let's have a quick look at the danger men in the Benfica team. We've got a Belgian international up front. Their player with the most assists this season is Brazilian Zico. Doesn't look like they have their top goal scorer on the pitch though, so that's good news. Of course, we've got 1 away goal and we're winning 2-1 on aggregate. Oh, we've got 2 away goals then, haven't we? Sorry. We've got 2 away goals, so that's really good news. And yeah, we should be the favourites, I suppose. But Benfica are a tough team. They've got some good players. off we go. Out we step into Mark Ball Park again for the second time in today's episode. Leaving it unbalanced, we don't need to go over the top, do we? Free kick, Kotasek into Novak, running at the back line, has the shot straight at the keeper. It's been a boring old half so far, 40 minutes in, and that was the first highlight. It suits me. All we need is a draw. No need to change anything in the second half. Hopefully we can easily hang on. They've had 0 shots, but they've had 64% possession, strangely. They've just done nothing with it. My defence has been solid. That's what my tactic's been built upon this year. We've had a really solid defence. We've been pretty efficient in front of goal, but maybe not quite as much as in previous years, I suppose. But yeah, the defence has been very, very solid. However, they have taken the lead, but it is offside. Disallowed, fortunately. A couple changes have been made. Bring on Rios for the tired Andreychenko. This has been terrible, but not in terms of a result. This is a fantastic result. We're going through to the Champions League quarter-final after the most boring game imaginable. And maybe we can win it in the last minute. Navarrete hits it over the bar. It's going to finish 0-0. That suits me down to the ground. Not great for you guys watching, I'm afraid. Sorry about that, but this is a positive result. Hopefully, we won't have such a difficult tie this time around as well, because of course last year we had Real Madrid. But we're into the last 8. It's going to be tough teams. It's time for the Champions League quarter-final draw. There's 5 English teams in it, so we're more than likely going to take on an English team. And then Atletico Madrid, PSG and Real Madrid. Let's go. Okay, we're out first, and we're taking on Atletico Madrid this time, rather than Real Madrid. Not entirely happy about that, because unfortunately, they're actually really good on this. I think in some ways they might be better than Real Madrid. Yeah, they've won the last 3 league titles, beating Real Madrid to it. So this is going to be really, really tough. We signed Navarrete from... Did we sign Navarrete? Can't remember. Did Navarrete come from Atletico Madrid? He came from Sevilla. I think I was looking to try and sign a striker from Atletico Madrid, but they've got some real quality players. They're just so good. If we search by value, most valuable player is a Danish player. Incredible. Elite winger. Next up, a Belgian legendary striker. Then Rojas, who is a legendary midfielder. That's even... I mean, they were world class, and they've become so good that they're legendary. And then you've got an elite striker, Romania. Oh, there's just so much quality here. This is going to be incredibly tough. And another elite winger. Basically, the team is full of world-class talent. I think I'd have been better off taking off on one of the English teams, but there we go. There's 2 all-English ties. Arsenal taking on PSG. Sorry, there's only 1 all-English tie, isn't there? Yeah, Liverpool versus Man United. Arsenal, PSG, Spurs, Real Madrid. So, I'm scared. Not gonna lie. So that will be the next episode. When's the first leg? There's only 1 leg. What's going on there? It's time for the 3rd and final match of the episode, and hopefully I can win for you today, because of course the first match we bottled, the second match was boring, but it's what we needed. Leicester away from home in the FA Cup quarter-final. We just take a look at the quarter-final stage. West Ham have gone through, Wolves and Liverpool as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a shock that Spurs haven't made it this far, considering how dominant they are. And there's just pretty boring quarterfinals. Hopefully this one will be a bit more interesting. Boris is back from injury, so he's back in the team. And Aloisi is coming for Van den Broek as well. Those are the only changes. The Leicester team then, their best performing player this season, 20 goals this season, Kovacevic, a Serbian international, looks pretty decent. Diop playing behind. I think overall it's probably the weakest team we've played today, so hopefully we can get a good result. I'm going to go attacking from the start as well. Although it looks like we lost the last time we played them, so yeah, interesting. In fact, are Leicester even in the Premier League? I don't even know. They're in the Championship. They're 11th in the Championship, so this should be a comfortable win in theory. So attacking is definitely needed today. So my assistant to that, and off we go at the King Power Stadium. Navarrete already charging at the Leicester defence, being tackled in the pouring rain. But Leicester now on the attack with White easily headed away by Simon Moore. White back on the ball. Rivadeneira into Abadia. Must say they've got some decent players considering they're a mid-table championship team this season. Oh, we've been beaten to the ball there. And here's Abadi again into... there's so many names. I'm not even going to try pronouncing them. Saka's down the left-hand side. That's fairly simple to pronounce. It's headed away and Aloisi can bring it clear. He's played it up, looking for Safet Kalechi. Into Navarrete, going at, look at all the Leicester numbers, getting back, but it doesn't matter because Carly Navarrete smashed it in from long range. There were so many men behind the ball there, but they didn't really close him down and he just battered it in with his weaker foot as well, I think. Was that left-footed? Yeah, look at all these men charging back to get back into position. And it just didn't matter. I'm not sure what the keeper was really doing, just kneeling down. Free kick to Leicester, 7 minutes in, and Diop heads just wide. That was a chance for Leicester. Here we go again. Matt Smith with the throw into Navarrete. Coming deep. Running at the defence. Out wide to Boris. Boris crosses it in. It's headed away. And Diop can clear. If we're sort of 3-0 up, we can bring Mark Ball on. He really has deteriorated very fast. His pace has gone down by 4 whole points in the last 12 months. It's sad to see, but he's a legend. He's a club legend. He was club captain, of course, at one point. And we have to remember the good times. He's still a brilliant finisher. He's just lost his physical attributes, unfortunately. He's 34 years old now. But he'll continue to play in the Hampshire Senior Cup, of course, as will David Okoro, remember. Is this going to be a second? It is. Carly Navarrete with his 19th of the season. This is fairly comfortable. So hopefully we'll be able to see Mark Ball in the second half. Corner now. Kotasek to take it. Into Matt Smith. Deep cross. Andreychenko heads over. Adding Andreychenko. Oh, no. What I was going to say was adding Andreychenko to the back line has really solidified our defence. Having a really good partner for Isidore Rodriguez has been fantastic. But Navarrete is off injured. So we're going to have to bring on Mark Ball after all, aren't we? So he'll go there. He's going to play as a poacher. He can't play as an advanced forward anymore. He's just got no pace. Look at him. 8 on pace. If we have a look at his attribute changes in the last 12 months, -4 for pace, stamina, -2 for agility and acceleration. If we look at him in his prime when he was 29, I suppose, -7. Used to have 15 on pace, 15. I think he had 16, 17 at one point possibly. Maybe it was quite brief, but it really has gone downhill for him. But finishing, first touch is about the same. Composure off the ball. They've gone up slightly compared to, I mean, when we first signed him. His composure's gone up by 2. Off the ball's gone off by 2. So he has improved, mentally in particular. But that's what you expect from an older player. And technically, slight improvements. He's just been such a phenomenal player for us. It's just sad to see him suddenly go off a cliff. But he's 34 and a half pretty much. So it was always going to happen at some point. But he's staying at the club, of course. And if we do end the series at the end of this season and you want to take control, then you're more than welcome to keep him and play him and try and get him firing again. But let's be honest, he's had his time, hasn't he? 2-0 at half time. Comfortable. Mark Ball up front alongside Kalechi for this second half then. Next up is the Hampshire Senior Cup, so I don't need to worry about resting players. Well, it's been a boring second half, that's for sure. I've made a couple changes, but we've just been sailing along, I suppose, waiting for the final whistle, fully in control of this match. And we're going through to the semi-final of the FA Cup. We're through to the quarter-final of the Champions League. We're top of the Premier League. We are set. We're all set for a fantastic finale. Hopefully, we can win everything. But we might be very disappointed. We've, of course, already won the League Cup, so at least we can say we've won something this year. But we want to win all 4. That would be the perfect finish for this season, wouldn't it? Of course it would. Stating the obvious there. So yeah, brilliant win, expected win. But how long is Navarrete injured for? That is the big question. I'm scared. 4 to 5 weeks. That is a blow. That is a big blow because, unfortunately, Anthony's out as well. Next up is the Hampshire Senior Cup. So we've got that on the 21st. We've got a big break, actually, fortunately, until the next Premier League game. So I think there's an international break. And during that time, we'll be playing against Aldershot. So we've basically got over half a month, until the next game. So that gives Anthony some time to recover. He's still out for so he might just about be okay for the Everton game, and then of course I can play him alongside Kelechi whilst Navarrete recovers. But he'll be halfway through his injury by the time we play Everton, so it's a good time to get injured. If I'm to get long-term injuries, this was the time to get it, because we've got Aldershot next, Everton's 2.5 weeks away, then we've got Atletico Madrid in 3 weeks, and the second leg in a month's time. Navarrete won't be back in time for that. We're likely to lose this. Let's be realistic. But the next episode will be quite soon, because we're going to be taking on Atletico Madrid in the first leg, Southampton in the Premier League, and then Atletico Madrid in the second leg. That will be episode 177, a really, really big episode for us. The FA Cup semi-final might... to be fair, that might... No, that's usually a bit later, isn't it? Not sure when that's going to be. I suppose I should play through until the point when we can see the FA Cup draw. Let's have a look at that. Here we go. Okay. Don't really want Liverpool. Wolves are quite tough. In fact, all the teams are quite tough. They're all towards the top of the Premier League. Liverpool might be further down, actually. Yeah, Liverpool are the worst team, so I don't mind getting Liverpool. Off we go. We're going to get Wolves. It always freezes for a second before it draws your team. So Wolves it is in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Hopefully we can get revenge for them turning around that 2-0 win to a 2-2 draw, of course, in today's episode. And that will be played... okay. Oh, that's been... So the Everton game's been pushed back, in fact, all the way to this. We're going to have a real fixture congestion here. Look at this. Look at... Oh, no. 4-day gap. 3-day gap. 3-day gap. 4-day gap. 4-day gap. 3-day gap. 4-day gap. 4 days, is that for the... Oh, dear. This is going to be really tough. The running. I mean, that's what happens when you're playing European football. And, of course, we've got the Hampshire Senior Cup. But that's usually played in international breaks these days, to be honest. So it doesn't really matter too much. Motley Whitney into the final already. Hopefully we'll be into another final and comfortably winning that. Oh, maybe next episode it's got to be a bumper special. Semi-final, quarter-final, Premier League, quarter-final. Why not? We might be coming towards the end of the series. Let's have some longer episodes. Those of you that have got to this point anyway are enjoying the series, so you don't mind watching longer episodes, I'm sure. So we'll end it there. Thank you for watching. 2 draws, few injuries. We're through to the quarter-final of the Champions League. We're through to the FA Cup semi-final though, so that is brilliant overall, and we're top of the Premier League, so we got to be pleased. Until next time, enjoy FM19 and FM20, enjoy the rest of your day, see you very soon.